This is Georgia from Fiesta. This is EYFS and Year 1 Fundamentals Lesson 3. Let's get warm. First thing we need to do is get warmed up. To do this, we're going to be playing a game called the DVD game. For this game, there's some rules that you must remember. If I say the word fast forward, you need to run on the spot as fast as you can. If I say rewind, you're going to take a step back and make a really tight ball shape. If I say pause, you're going to say stop. If I say record, you're going to put a silly face. If I say slow motion, you're going to move on the spot really, really slowly, and if you like, you can also give us a wave. Let's start by jogging on the spot. Listen out for my commands and see if you can keep up. Ready? Fast forward. Pause. Slow motion. Fast forward. Record. Rewind. Fast forward. Rewind. Fast forward. Rewind. Fast forward. Slow motion. Fast forward. Stop. Fast forward again. Stop. Rewind. Silly face. Fast forward. Rewind. And well done. Now we're going to do some stretches. I would like you to try your hardest to reach up high and touch the sky. As you can see, my whole back is straight and my legs are nice and straight as I'm trying to do this. We're then going to come down and see if we can touch and reach to our toes. Again, I'm keeping my legs as straight as possible. We're now going to see if we can stretch out really, really wide as if the walls are coming in to us. Really push out, and then can you stretch just a teeny bit further without falling over? Shake it all off. Give your legs a shake, your arms a shake, and now we're ready for our lesson. Great work on the warm-up. Let's recap from last lesson. We did a bit of ball handling skills, rolling and retrieving skills, and today we're going to carry on building these skills. So let's get started. The first thing you need to remember is thinking about the area that you are working in. Today might be best for you to maybe go out in the garden, or if you do have a bit of space in the living room, then it's okay, but just make sure everything is out of the way because we do not want anyone getting hurt. Today I'm going to be using different size balls. If you have that too, that's great. Just think, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, sometimes the smaller one is going to do that. But if you need it to be a little bit easier, then don't push yourself, try the bigger one. So I'm going to start off with the bigger one first. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to be standing on the spot. The first job is we're going to try and pass this ball around different parts of our body. So I might start off by passing it around my belly. And if you can't pass it around without touching your body, that's okay. Just roll it around your body. Then I'm going to try and roll it around my arm. Then what about my legs? And can I go from one leg to another maybe? And then if I want to, I can go back up to the top again. I'm going to show you what it's like with a smaller ball too. So with the smaller one, it might be a bit tricky to roll around. But if you're passing it around away from your whole body, you'll see this one's actually easier. But try both of them and let's see what you find easy. Are we ready? Go have a practice. air and try and see how many times we can catch it. But you must remember the technique we must use when doing this skill. So when I throw the ball in the air, I need to make sure that I'm not throwing it too high, because it might hit something around the house, especially if you're inside of this bit, it might hit a light, and then that won't be a good thing. So just think about that height. If you do want to get a bit of height on it because you think it might help when it comes to catching the ball, then go outside and practice this skill. So you're throwing it in the air, I say about head height, and I want you to keep the ball close to you when you're throwing it, because if you throw it too far away, you're going to be moving too far to try and catch the ball. So make sure it keeps close. And then when we come to catch the ball, can you remember how we're meant to get our hands? Superb. We get them nice and close together, because if they're too far away, the ball will fall through. So get them nice and close. And remember, I like to call it like a little bowl. Then I must remember that a bowl is always very tight and close together, holding something in. So then it's in the air, and it's coming down. Did you see what I did with my eyes? I'm watching the ball. I'm seeing where the ball is going. Because if I didn't watch the ball, I'm not going to know that it's coming down, and I might miss it. And with this task, we're trying to see how many we can catch. If you do drop it though, it doesn't matter, just keep going, show that resilience and keep on trying. I'm going to let you now have 1 minute practice. How many can you do? Off you go. Let's move on. Now we're going to see if we can throw and catch the ball while travelling around. Remember, when you're travelling around, to think about your space. So this time when I'm throwing the ball, I'm going to have to look around to where I'm going. So that might mean sometimes I take my eyes off the ball just to make sure of my surroundings. So let's do this one together. We're going to have 30 seconds trying to practice this one. And let's see how many can you do. And remember, if you drop it, it's okay. Let's go. Well done, that's great work. How many did you get without dropping it? How many did you get if you did drop it but you just carried on? Super, that's really, really good. We're going to move on again. This time, on my command, if I say move, we're going to be moving around again and trying to catch the ball. If I say spot, we're going to try and catch the ball on the spot. Always on my command, so make sure you're listening. Are you ready for this challenge? We're going to have another 30 seconds. We're going to do it together. Ready? Listening for my command. Move. Still looking around us just in case and looking at the ball. Spot. Move. So before you move, you might just want to look where you're going. Stop. Spot. Said the wrong thing then. Move. Superstars. Well done. Moving on, now we're going to focus on our rolling and retrieving skills. We did this a little bit last week, so we're just going to recap some of them skills. If you do remember, don't be afraid to shout them out at the screen as I'm asking questions. Be confident in yourself, it's really good. So, you might need to do this out in the garden just because you're thinking about the space. And you're going to have to count out a few steps. So you can see my space here. I've got enough space to be able to roll the ball and go and collect it safely. The first thing is though, can you remember what the ready position is we need to get in for our rolling? Superstars. We've got our legs back straight, we're ready to roll the ball with our arm, and it goes back on the same size as our leg. I have my aiming arm. Remember when we're rolling, you've got to think about where you're releasing the ball. If we release it here, it's going to be we're going to be throwing the ball, not rolling it. So think about where you let go to roll the ball along the floor. So I'm going to have my go. Roll it in, I'm going to retrieve the ball. When I retrieve the ball, I've stayed on my feet. I've not gone on the floor, because if we did that, can you remember what it might cost us? It might cost us the time that we get back to our starting place. So you must remember that you don't want to do that, and it might really hurt you. So think about them safety aspects as well. I'm going to have another go from this side. I'm going to swap my arms on using as well. When we're retrieving the ball, I want us to only use one hand this week, just one. I want you to try that as much as you possibly can, but if you can't, start off with two again, then go back to one. And I have one more go to give you a demonstration. Think about safety. I've got that with one hand, I stayed on my feet. I also looked where I was going before I moved. I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to have a practice. Don't forget to try both hands. And if you need to, you can go to both. Off you go. Great work. But I have a question for you. How can we make this more tricky? Correct. We could roll the ball a bit faster. However, if we're rolling the ball a bit faster, what might we need to do with our bodies? Let's have a think. Thinking caps on. Correct. We're going to have to move faster. So, we're getting our positions, ready positions. I'm ready to roll the ball faster. Watch my body. Watch what I do. When I let go of the ball, did I do this? And then go collect the ball? So I roll, I let go of the ball, I let it roll, and then I went. Or did I do this? As soon as I let go of that ball, I was gone. Really, really quick. Following after to chase after that ball so I can retrieve it. I don't wait, I don't pause, I go straight away and be as quick as lightning so you can get there, because we are going faster now. I'm going to have a few goes. Let's see if I can stop it before it gets to the end. I'm going to really, really test myself. Ooh. It's quite tricky. back to 2, then try with 1. You have 1 minute, off you go. Great work. But remember, if you found it too tricky, you can slow it down and go at the pace that you're okay to go at. But if it is too easy, then definitely speed up. Moving on, now we're going to make this even harder. I'm going to swap my ball. I'm now going to go for a smaller ball because I think I'm ready for the next step. I'm going back to the line, we know our start position, but this time our ball is smaller. To start off with, I'm going to slow it down again, so I'm not going to be rolling it really fast, because I need to work out how I'm going to get there to get this ball. So I'm going to roll it slowly this time, still collecting with my one hand to get it. One more go. And I'm on my feet every time I collect that ball. This time, I'm going to do it a little bit faster. Shall we see what happens? I've had to move a little bit quicker. I'm going to do this one even faster, see if I can get to the end. It's quite difficult. This time, I want you to go and have a go. You have 1 minute. Off you go. Great work. Don't forget, you can pause the screen if you need a longer time to practice. Just because we say that there's 1 minute, you can have a longer time for that, so that you can show good resilience in practicing enough so that you can lock down those skills. It's okay. I need a lot of practice too, and I believe in you. So moving on now, we're going to play a little game called Turbo Tunnels. This game is really fun. I'm using the same area again, but I would recommend that you probably do this out in the garden, so it's still the same space that we are needed. So I'm going to start from over here. We know our starting position and everything, but we must remember that we need to think of the speed when we're rolling the ball now, because it's going to be an extra bit into our movement, into going to collect the ball. So I'm going to start off slow again. So I'm in my position. I'm going to do this really slow for the breakdown. When I roll the ball, I then need to move as quickly as I can, facing the way I roll the ball from. And then once it's gone through my legs, because my body is a tunnel, and then make sure that I open my legs and go shoulder width apart. If you need a little bit more, then you can. But I would say shoulder width apart, and I'm facing here slow the ball can go through. Once it's gone through, you'll realise when you throw it a little bit harder that it will make. We're then going to turn around as quickly as we can to go and collect and retrieve the ball from wherever it finishes off. But you must remember, you want to try and 20 before the ending point. So I'm going to go back to my starting place again, and this time I'm going to do it a bit quicker so that you can see that it won't stop when you do your little turn. So I'm quickly getting here to the tunnel, Susie said, I've turned again so I can collect and retrieve the ball after I've done it. So I've got a little spinning, the turtle turn on in the middle. So I'm going to go, I'm facing the ball car, and I'm retrieving it with one hand still before it gets to the other side. I'm going to show you with the other hand as well. This time we're really going to have to think about how hard you're throwing, rolling the ball along the floor. That time I think I might have been a little bit too quick to try and get our tunnel in the middle and then be able to turn to retrieve the ball. I struggled a little bit at the end. Why don't you now have a practice? I'm going to give you 1 minute. How many can you do? Off you go. I will need a family member though. For my family member, I have JJ, unfortunately. For this, you'll need an area to be playing. You'll also need some equipment as well. The person who is rolling the ball in this is going to be me to start with. I need some objects. It can either be socks or it can be a small tennis ball. And JJ is going to be known as the castle. He is protecting the castle. To do that, he can use objects such as bats, or if you have a shield at home, please be creative with it and use it. Or you can make your own if you really want to take it a step further. With your shield, you're going to be protecting your legs, because the person who is rolling the ball is aiming for them, and they're going to see how many times they can hit the legs. And for every time you do that, you get 1 point. Once you've had your goes, you're then going to swap over and make it into a bit of a competition and see who can get the most points. So now me and JJ are going to have a little competition and see. So I've got 4 objects to roll. You can have as many as you like. It's completely up to you. And you can be creative with what you make for your targets for your ball that you're rolling as well. If you want to screw up some paper too. So now I'm going to try and roll, remembering the technique of practice, and might try and trick JJ. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, wrong point. What's that, JJ? Ooh. It might be quick. Whoa! How many points would that be the same? 3 points. All right then. Now I'm going to swap over.
Now it's my turn. Revenge.
We've done a bit of ball handling skills, we've done some rolling and retrieving, we've increased the speed on our rolling and retrieving, and we've even added some fun games at the end. But please guys, do not forget that you can keep practicing these skills from pausing the video or watching the video from the start again. Practice the skills, and then all together we will, as a team and collectively, lock down them skills. This is the one and only Georgia from Fiesta Sports Coaching. See you next week.